The time is now 6:59. Good morning, and thank you for staying with us here for your morning news. I'm meteorologist Josh Linker, and we are starting out today talking about some reduced visibility and some fog. Now, interesting as we look at this map, all of the reporting stations in our area are reporting just fine visibility, but we do have some areas of low clouds, and those low clouds are low enough that they're causing some problems with the high span of the Sunshine Skyway. Also, a little bit of reduced visibility right along the beaches as well. And we'll see some low clouds for the next hour or so. We're in a 72 in Bradenton. And as we look at the satellite imagery, I am noticing just those low clouds out there. Once those burn off, we will have sunshine, and quite a bit of it, especially over inland spots today. And it's going to warm up, too. We should get up to about 87 in Lakeland, 88 today in Winter Haven. That's really warm for March. 79 in St. Petersburg, 87 today's high in Wesley Chapel. Now, I'm going to be back to talk more about our forecast for the rest of the week. Some more warm weather on the way. But for now, we're going to send things over to Chuck Henson with breaking news in the Real-Time Traffic Center.
Now, your weather on the 9's forecast featuring Klystron 9.
It is 7:09. Good morning. I'm meteorologist Josh Linker. Thank you for joining us here for your morning news. And we are looking at some reduced visibility. This is not a widespread fog problem for us this morning. We have some low clouds. And if you've been following along the bottom of your screen, you can see that the Sunshine Skyway is closed because of fog. But it's really low clouds that are low enough to impact the commute across the Skyway, which is a high bridge, so it kind of makes its way up into that low cloud level. But look at the reporting stations here, not doing too bad. Now, there are some pockets of reduced visibility here and there, some along the coast in Pinellas, some in eastern sections of Pasco County. I think tomorrow morning will actually be a bigger widespread fog problem for us than what we have out there this morning. It is warm, however, 72 right now in St. Petersburg, Lakeland at 70, 70 in Brooksville, Lakewood Ranch coming in at 74, 70 in Haines City right now. And here's the satellite imagery. And when you look at this just quickly, it doesn't look like anything's happening out there, clear skies, but what I'm noticing really closely is just this thin veil of low clouds that is overhead. Now, what's going to happen today is those clouds will break up, and I believe that we're going to see the clouds hanging on a little bit longer along the coast because of that onshore wind. It'll stay cooler along the coast, and warmer conditions will be found over inland spots with some more sunshine. No rain out there right now. I'm not expecting any for a few more days. So our forecast today, sunshine returns to many areas. We'll hang on to some coastal cloud cover. Not a bad day along the coast, though. 82 the average high. We range from the upper 70s along the coast to the upper 80s over inland locations. And tonight, partly cloudy. Overnight fog will be developing down to 65 with some upper 50s showing up in our cooler spots. And tomorrow, mostly sunny, a warm day. We'll see some high clouds coming in, and our high temperature gets to 83 degrees. Now, I'm going to be back. We'll look at your 7-day forecast. We do have rain chances to talk about. I'll have those details for you coming up in 10 minutes. But first, we're going to send things over to Chuck Henson with breaking news in the Real-Time Traffic Center.
Now, your weather on the 9's forecast featuring Klystron 9.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us here for Weather on the 9's. I'm meteorologist Josh Linker, and we are looking at a foggy scenario for some areas this morning. Some sea fog will stick around. Inland spots will see more sunshine, but if you have boating plans, we'll call it a mixture of sunshine and clouds today. A little bit cooler out over the water with that wind persisting from the west. Not strong, but from the west at 5 to 10 knots. So with that water temperature at 67, the air temperature out over the water is going to be a little bit cooler. A light chop expected today on the inland waters. Overall, the boating conditions will be okay. It's just a matter of dealing with the cooler weather and the potential for some reduced visibility, which we've seen around Tampa Bay. And that'll be the case at least through the morning hours in the Sun Coast. Some limited visibility. A light chop is expected on Tampa Bay and the other inland waters. So this is what's going on. We have high pressure to the south starting to lift in, and that is going to decrease the wind. Now, what I'm noticing here is some of the low clouds right overhead. You got to look really closely to see them. And as we go through the day, they'll break up, especially inland. That's going to be the case for tomorrow, but we're also seeing here on the satellite imagery some high clouds coming in from the west. Not today, but tomorrow we'll start to see some of that coming into our area. And the weather pattern is going to remain generally unchanged for the next couple of days with the onshore wind continuing. It'll be light, however. We'll see a few warm days, overnight fog, and then along this next frontal system heading into Friday and the weekend, we'll watch a storm system developing along that and that'll bring us a chance for some rain Friday, Saturday, possibly even into Sunday, and then eventually some cooler weather comes in. So for today, coastal clouds, sunshine inland. It will be warm over inland spots, cooler near the coast. Again, all due to that wind that will be coming in. So we'll look at your county by county forecast here, and we'll see 81 Homosassa Springs, Crystal River at 80, 84 in Brooksville this afternoon. For Pasco County, temperatures range from 80 at Hudson and Newport Richey to 84 Wesley Chapel, 85 in Dade City. Check out Polk County. You're going to warm up with sunshine, 86 to 88 degrees this afternoon. In Manatee County, we'll see a high of 79 at Anna Maria, 83 in Lakewood Ranch. And you'll notice some extra clouds around. Pinellas County temperatures around 79 to 80. Some of the clouds will stick around for a while. Same thing in Hillsborough County. We'll go with 82 in Tampa, but 86 today in Brandon and Plant City for your afternoon high. Here's your 7-day forecast, and we have warm weather for a few more days with some lower 80s, lows in the low to mid 60s. I brought in a rain chance on Friday to 30%, and over the weekend, Saturday and into Sunday, we'll see a 50% chance on Saturday, a 30% chance on Sunday. It'll turn breezy and cooler. Sunday's high just 73, and heading into Monday, a sunny day, but it'll be breezy to windy and cooler as well with a high of 71. And check out that morning low back down into the 50s, so perhaps we're going to see winter's last shot heading into the early part of next week. That's your 7-day forecast. Here's the latest pollen forecast for the next 3 days, and it is brought to you by Famous Tate Appliance and Bedding Centers. It's time now for the latest from Klystron 9.
Now, your weather on the 9's forecast featuring Klystron 9.
Time now 7:29. Good morning, and thank you for joining us here for your morning news. I'm meteorologist Josh Lincoln. We have some low clouds and fog out there. Areas most affected along the coast. Here's our view from the Trade Winds Resort at St. Pete Beach. And you can see limited visibility there with the camera up on the roof. And here's our view from Madeira Beach, brought to you by Innovation Cabinetry. Same kind of thing, visibility an issue out over the water. Now, what's interesting is when we look at the observations around the area, all are doing just fine. We have low clouds and then spots along the water where we do have some problems, and that has led to the closure of the Sunshine Skyway. Chuck Henson will talk much more about that and what your options are in just a moment. Temperatures around the area are very warm. It's a little bit muggy, too. 72 in Bradenton, Tampa the same, Inverness at 68, Lakeland coming in at 70. So here's the satellite imagery, and all I'm seeing out there are these low clouds. If we can get these to burn off, which I believe we will in many spots, we're going to look for quite a bit of sunshine for the day, especially inland. Along the coast, there'll still be some low clouds and fog hanging on for a little while. So if you have beach plans, just be aware of that. A west wind at 6 to 12. The water temperature now at 71, and the sun will set this evening at 7:39. Now, I'm going to be back to talk more about our forecast, more about the warmth, and eventually some rain chances. We'll talk about that with weather on the 9s, but for now, we're going to send things over to Chuck Henson with breaking news in the Real-Time Traffic Center.
The Bay News 9 Weather Center, not everywhere. As a matter of fact, conditions improving greatly most places other than the bridge.
Other than the bridge, we have low clouds, and that bridge goes so high up that it is like it's fog. But again, we're talking about some reduced visibility along the coast, out over the water, and of course the Sunshine Skyway. But here's a look at the numbers. And all of our reporting stations are doing fine. Many times when we have a fog scenario, we look at some of these numbers at a quarter mile or even 0. We may have that tomorrow, but this morning, not a big widespread fog problem out there. With that said, here's our view from the Trade Winds Resort at St. Pete Beach. I mentioned that along the coast we have some fog. Now you can see, now the camera's on top of the building, a couple of stories up, and you can still make out what's going on here on the beach with some of the chairs that are out there. But again, reduced visibility along the coast with that sea fog scenario. It's warm, 72, humidity 93%, and a west wind at 6, and that's going to keep that fog out there. Now here's a look at the low clouds. This is from downtown Tampa, so visibility is fine. We just have the low clouds out there. This is brought to you by Ackerman Jewelers, and we're looking at Curtis Hickson Park this morning. And the temperature now at 72, humidity 97%, and there's that west-southwest wind at 8 miles per hour. So some of the other numbers around the area are warm. It is 70 in Lakeland, Winter Haven at 71, Davenport at 69, Polk City at 68 degrees, 72 in St. Petersburg. I want to take a look at the wind here around the area, and we have winds coming in from the west and west-southwest. Not strong, and they won't be strong today. It's not going to be a breezy day, but that onshore wind will keep the clouds and the fog around on the coast and also keep temperatures cooler for you along the area coastline today. no rain out there this morning, not expecting any rain for a couple of days, but a look at the satellite imagery and I'm noticing those low clouds overhead. They will break up, and I do believe we'll see quite a bit of sunshine, especially away from the water. 80 by 5 o'clock. Now, inland spots, you'll be pushing even close to 90 degrees this afternoon. 71 at 10 and tomorrow morning in the upper 60s. Now, if you have travel plans, there aren't too many major problems. We are seeing some showers and some thunderstorms moving through Iowa right now. A departing storm system in the northeast and more rain and higher elevation snows coming into the northwest. The delays really haven't been piling up, with the exception of New York City. Minor delays, 23 minutes at LaGuardia. That is tolerable for airport delays in the Big Apple. 46 in New York, 55 in Atlanta right now, 55 in Oklahoma City and Kansas City. And the colder air is out west. Denver and Salt Lake City at 36. The higher elevations are below freezing. And the spring skiing looks terrific out in the Rockies and the Sierras. They've had a lot of snow, and the weather will stay cool out there. Now, I'm going to be back with your 7-day forecast. That'll be coming up in 10 minutes. But first, here's another look at Klystron 9.
Now, your weather on the 9's forecast featuring Klystron 9.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us here for Weather on the 9's. I'm meteorologist Josh Linker, and we have some warm weather out there this morning, a little bit on the humid side. There's been some fog, some sea fog, and that will transition to some coastal clouds or some coastal fog over the next several hours. And the clouds may hang on a bit along the coast, and that will prompt things to be just a touch cooler for coastal locations. Warmer inland today and over the next couple of days. And then by the end of the week and the weekend, rain chances will make a return to our areas. So here's the satellite imagery, and when you look really quickly, it looks clear, but what I'm seeing is a lot of low clouds overhead. They will break up sooner over inland spots. It might take a while, if at all, near the coast. So I want to take a look at the computer model here. We're going to do a couple of things. First of all, notice the wind arrows coming in from the west. There is moisture in place, but we're not looking at any kind of rain scenario today. Heading into tomorrow, we'll see some high clouds coming in, but I also still expect tomorrow, with the moisture high, there to be a coastal fog issue. Overnight tonight into tomorrow, we will have that fog, and as we head into Thursday, the model is putting out a spotty shower mainly over on the east side of the state. I do expect our area to remain mostly dry on Thursday. It'll be Friday into the weekend when we'll have that rain chance. So here's our fog forecaster model, and through this afternoon, notice out in the Gulf of Mexico, reduced visibility. So you want to keep that in mind if you have boating plans. But watch what happens as we go into this evening. We'll start to see that creeping back in, and the fog will really thicken up in many spots through the overnight period into tomorrow morning. During the day tomorrow, we'll still have some fog up through about 10 o'clock in the morning near the coast, and this is going to be an issue. Reduced visibility if you have boating plans. Early morning driving across the bridges. We've had some issues on Bay Area bridges this morning with some of the fog. All right, so for today, inland spots will see sunshine, and as a result of that, you're really going to have some warm weather today. 86 in Brandon, 87 in Lakeland and Wesley Chapel. Compare that to 79 in St. Petersburg. And if you have boating plans, we'll call it clouds and sun. Expect some reduced visibility for a time. West wind at 5 to 10. Really marginal with the thick sea fog problem. The water temperatures are a little bit warmer now in the lower 70s, so it's really tough to get the sea fog to stick around and be very, very thick. So just some limitation to the visibility out there for today. All right, your 7-day forecast now will reveal temperatures in the lower 80s for the next couple of days. Upper 80s inland. Lows will be in the low to mid 60s. Some more clouds on Thursday. And then Friday will put the rain chance at 30%, and some changes coming up over the weekend. Saturday into Sunday we'll see a chance for showers and thunderstorms, and then turning cooler after that Sunday into Monday. Look at those highs staying only in the lower 70s, and by Monday morning lows get back down into the 50s. That's your 7-day forecast. Another check of the weather is coming up at the top of the hour, but first, here's another look at Klystron.